Do I like the Browns winning too much? Because when the Browns win a game like that, and I'm there and I'm with a Steelers fan who I love to antagonize, I will almost believe anything. I mean, everything is great. Like, oh, yeah, Andrew Berry needs a lifetime contract, and so does Kevin Stefanski. And if you guys want to call it a culture win, hell yeah, it's a culture win. Till Lima says, oh, that's Bolsheviks. So tell me where we're wrong saying culture win. Shedeur said culture win yesterday, right?
Yeah.
All right, and you say that's Bolsheviks. Do you just disagree with everything Shedeur says, and that's what you want to do? Or, I mean, do you have a reason to back this up?
I didn't even know he said that. I heard fans saying it yesterday, and I had to laugh because we always stumble into late season wins and, of course, hurt you in the draft, which I didn't come on today and say anything about that. Like, I didn't say that the players should have, like, tanked it out or anything, because what do they care? What does Myles Garrett care about any of that? Actually, Myles might have been the one who should have tanked it out, because you could have gotten a better quarterback potentially. But obviously that's not going to happen, and Stefanski's not going to tank it out. He wants to win games. And they went on their merry way and won a game and made people like you in the stands and Browns fans everywhere excited to beat a rival.
Happy, yes.
But we've beaten Pittsburgh before with DTR. That wasn't a culture win. We won to avoid going 0-16 the year that who was it? The Pierogi Prince? Who was it that blocked the field goal?
That was Jamie Meter.
Jamie Meter. That didn't help the culture. Nobody sat there and said this is a culture-defining win, especially now in the NFL.
I disagree.
Where you thought that was a culture-defining win when they went 1-15?
No.
No, of course not. Was it when DTR beat Pittsburgh? No, you didn't think that.
Hold on.
Stefanski, we went over the record. Stefanski's 12-6 at home against the AFC North. Were all those culture-defining wins. I think these are things we say to make us feel good going into an offseason after a disastrous year.
I totally disagree. Here's Shedeur yesterday on the culture win.
In the building and everything, we've been pretty consistent with what we've been doing. The only difference is now we got the result we were supposed to get, So I don't think the difference between a win and loss is a couple of plays. It wasn't about how you're going about your business, how you're doing everything. Everybody's going about their business the same way. Everybody's extremely locked in, extremely focused on what they got to do. But today we just got the result we was looking for.
So I agree with him, and I think you're full of it, and let me tell you why. And you won't give me a chance to say anything because you started talking so damn fast because I know how you are. But let me tell you this. Going back to the Chargers win with Jamie Meter, was Joe or Joe not crying after that win?
Was he? I don't know.
Yes, Joe Thomas, your personal friend.
I was laughing about that win.
Well, your personal friend was crying after that win. What do you think of that? That's not a culture win? You don't know nothing about teamwork. You don't know nothing about being accountable to anybody else.
Was it
so of course it wouldn't be culture for you.
Was it a cultural win when Deshaun Watson slugged through that game against
don't try
Washington?
To sit there and find a bunch of different
Washington
things.
On January 1st, where he threw for 140,
it wasn't that.
169 yards and got a game ball.
So you're just going to think of every sloppy win and say it's a culture.
Game?
It's not a culture win. You gave me specific examples.
We're so desperate to call anything a win late in the season that we want things to make us feel good about an otherwise disastrous year.
I know that you hate everything, and so you don't want anybody to have any let up on anything.
I do hate this season, yes.
Yes, I know you do.
Me.
You've made that abundantly clear.
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
So much that
Guilty as charged.
So much so that you will find different excuses so you don't have to go to a Browns game and sit with the fans.
I don't think
so much that you hate sitting with the fans. You don't want to be seen with them.
I don't think I need a bunch of reasons to act like 4-13, which is probably going to be their final record. To act like they have turned it around. They've turned the corner.
So they beat the Steelers walking around like they were doing against the Chicago Bears?
What do you mean?
So
I thought Shedeur tried to gift them the game in the second half. They didn't take it.
But they didn't. So they didn't. And the defense could have just went, you know what, that's it.
No, the defense was awesome.
We're committing stupid turnovers, that's it.
The defense was amazing.
So again, tell me where that's not a culture win.
The defense has been amazing. Last year they were amazing. This year they were amazing. That didn't change the culture of the team.
No, they weren't amazing last year, actually.
They had a bunch of
they
had some of the best DVOA games last year. I've seen the stats. I've seen all the numbers.
I know you're very into charts now that AI has helped you make the charts.
This defense is for 2 years has had some of the best games any defense in the NFL has had.
But again,
that didn't change the culture.
You're not giving me a pushback on this. It's not a good pushback. I said they walked around against Chicago. I thought that team was dead in the water and didn't care anymore, and they still went out and they still beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, you ain't beating the Pittsburgh Steelers with all the great talent you have that's on your football team now, are you?
I mean, the Dolphins won 4 or 6 here down the stretch. Did they change their culture?
I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns.
I'm talking about other teams
culture.
because we're not.
I don't know about their culture. I know about the Browns.
Sometimes, Kenny, we're in our bubble too much. We're not able to be honest
and you're talking
about
the
how
Browns.
things actually work in the league. And I'm comparing the Browns, who won a December game.
You can
hip hip hooray! They've done that before.
Compare the Browns to anybody you want. I'm talking about the Browns.
They've done it before, and I remember the fans, and so I don't just forget all this after every season. I stockpile all these situations, and then when you come to me or fans come to me and are like, we beat the Steelers, this is going to be the beginning of something special, I'll remember that.
I didn't say it was the beginning of something special.
Well, what is it?
No.
So what was it? You said it was culture defining.
It can be a culture win. I didn't even know if it was defining.
So what do you think it is?
You have to be able to
So
rely
now you're starting to walk it back. What do you think it is?
No, I'm not. I'm not walking anything back. You have to be able to have a decent...
Beep, beep. He's actually going backwards.
Are you going to be a child here?
Yes, I am.
Are we going to do this the right way?
Yes, I am. I've given you 20 examples already this segment.
And you give me bad
examples.
examples.
You have not refuted anything.
Yes, I
so
just
what
refuted.
Are you willing to,
I can't imagine how many more I can refute.
I want Kenny to go
speak on my own show for a second.
Go on record. Okay. I want Ken to go on record so I can play this next year in early October when the Browns are out of the playoff hunt.
I didn't say that was going to carry over to next year.
Act like the win over the Steelers.
It's going to carry over to next year.
Then it's not culture defining. Champions pose, both shoulders, and a pat on the back.
Are they going to fire the coach? Are they going to fire the coach?
I don't know. I think they are.
If you think they are, then you can't be talking about culture because it can't carry over if you don't have the new coach.
I mean, thank you.
So if you have the new coach, obviously there's going to be a difference. But it can count to this culture this year.
Case in point.
It could have counted to that culture that year. Obviously, you had guys who still cared that didn't want to make history. That's why they were so excited when they beat the Chargers back in December or whenever it was, on Christmas Eve, whenever it was, 2016, I think it was. That's why they were so excited. That's why they were so sad when they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers and finished 0-16. And that's why yesterday they were able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, because clearly they still care. That's what people are talking about when they talk about culture.
Yeah, they've never given up.
You don't spend enough time around teams. You don't want to be spending time around teams. I don't know about the Dolphins. I don't cover the Dolphins. This team's
got a little too much stink on it. I don't feel like being around that.
I'm not talking about the Dolphins. I'm not talking about anybody else. Name all these other teams. I'm talking about the Browns here.
I think this is a great weed out for people that understand the league, because I think there are fans in every city. Look,
but I'm not saying it's for next year.
Yesterday, over this weekend, 16 teams will win, 16 teams will lose. And of all those losing teams that win, they will try to convince themselves that their culture has changed.
So why did they win the game?
And people like me will laugh at you.
So why did they win the game?
And I will laugh
How did they win the game?
Just like I'm laughing at you right now.
How did they win the game? You're not laughing at all. How did they win the game? Now you are laughing. How did they win the game? How did they win it? Was it with their great talent? Their exceptional football talent that the Cleveland Browns had. That's how they beat the Steelers.
We had Myles Garrett. I mean, that's pretty.
We had
Denzel Ward.
We had Denzel Ward. How many games have we lost this year with Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward both on the football field?
We've lost a lot of games.
You want to say checkmate after that?
And if we have them next year,
how many games have we lost before?
They're probably going to lose a bunch more games.
So again,
because it's not culture defining.
If guys would have just walked around, how we would have won? Because you just said it.
They haven't
We don't
quit.
have that great a talent.
I said that they haven't quit, but their culture is.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the Hall of Fame?
Awful yesterday.
Okay, Myles Garrett hasn't had bad games too?
4th and 1. Let's fling it 30 yards down the field to receivers that are awful.
Okay, so he was bad yesterday.
That was good decision making there.
But he was bad yesterday. Somebody had to make him bad yesterday, but okay.
We did.
He's had
we have a good defense.
Sterling career. But he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But we're the team that has the talent yesterday.
We have a really good defense.
Please.
Next year on paper, we should have a really good defense again. And Vegas will have them at 4.5 wins to start the season. And you could probably make a lot of money betting the under.
You are showing just how little you know about team building. You are showing just how little you know. I'm serious here. You are showing just how little you know about team building. You are showing just how little you know
much I know about the league being together. And the Browns.
I hope that the parents on the team, that when you coach your kids, I hope the parents of those other kids on their teams do not hold this against you. This is asinine. It's asinine. We are talking about
the best part of this is, guys,
you don't
Kenny agreed with me that Stefanski gets fired this week. Goodbye to that culture-defining attitude or anything, because they're going to have a whole bunch of new guys.
Check the tape, America. I didn't never say once that this was all going to carry over to next year.
Then it's not culture-defining.
I didn't say it defined the culture.
Then you've agreed with me.
But you can't have
champions pose
you cannot
for a third time this segment. Guys, it's easy. It's getting too easy.
So they could have won that game if they all hated each other. And they weren't playing for Kevin Stefanski.
So wait, do you want guys on a 4-13
yesterday?
Do you want guys on a 4-13 losing last place team to love each other?
Can't answer
if
the
anything,
question.
that's a culture
Can't
problem.
answer the question.
I kind of like guys that aren't satisfied with losing.
Can't answer the
so
question.
you're telling me this team is satisfied? It's kumbaya all season after
Can't
losses.
Answer the question.
Loss after loss
if
after
they don't
loss.
Care.
Buffalo game, we all love each other. We all hugged it out.
If they don't care, they're not going to win it.
We showed our chains on how amazing we are, and had press conferences with our 8 production crews that work on the team and in the building.
Again, that's not germane to the conversation.
Is that the culture? Is that the culture you want?
Germane to the conversation.
Losing team, but they all get along.
How many different distractions can you throw into an argument?
I'm using your own arguments against you one by one.
I'm just trying to keep you on the straight and narrow path here, but you're not doing it. You keep bringing up different distractions that I'm sure people who are barely paying attention to your terrible argument will hear and say, "Oh, that's why Lyman just beat your ass in every single argument." No, because you guys don't listen to it because you guys are distracted by God knows what in life. But if you're actually paying attention to this foolishness, you'd understand what I'm saying. Because they don't all hate each other. Obviously, they didn't put on the coach as bad as the coach could be to a lot of us.
4-13
stuff. Yeah, they're not a good football team.
Congratulations.
So they won the game by accident yesterday.
No,
accident.
They played well. It's a game in December that probably goes away the minute they kick off next year in September.
Oh, obviously. And no, I never once made that argument.
And I'll laugh at any of you saying the culture-defining win that they had in December.
I just want to point this out. When they're still struggling next year, when they're still trying to build again, and when they're still struggling next year, and when he tries to use this against me, never once did I say that this was going to carry over to next year. This is not the preseason matters argument. This is different. I did not once say that this is going to carry over. I'm talking about this year. I'm talking about this game with this team. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, maybe the Saints.
You're not. You keep giving different examples in different years and different teams.
The Saints have won 4 in a row, and their quarterback is balling.
I didn't realize.
So maybe with Tyler Shook, that is a culture-defining
scenario. Welcome back to WWLS, the home of the New Orleans Saints. This is Cleveland. This is 92-3 the fan. We're talking about the Browns.
And I think the mistake fans here make is they don't compare the Browns to other teams. They just look at bad Browns teams.
You're telling me to compare culture to a culture I haven't been paying attention to. I've been paying attention to this team's culture.
I think fans here compare every team to Hugh Jackson, and they compare them to Eric Mangini, and that's where they go astray. They don't compare them to, Mike Vrabel and Drake May. That's who you got to compare with. You got to compare them to good teams.
I'm not comparing them to good teams because they're not good. So I can only compare them to what they have. They didn't beat the Pittsburgh. The Steelers didn't turn around and run backwards. I mean, you're giving me all these other stupid.
Aaron Rodgers did kind of flip the ball backwards 10 times yesterday.
You're giving me all these silly, stupid examples of things that don't make sense to this argument.
You want to avoid that record.
I can't speak to another team's culture. I don't stop in their locker room once or twice a week. I don't talk to their players off record. I don't talk to their people off record. But is that part of the problem?
Is that why you think they have a good culture? Is because...
No, because there's been plenty of times I've told you they've had a bleepy culture so many times over.
Well, what's worse? If you have a good culture and you can't win games, is that good?
I still think the defense, as bad as this team has been this year, the defense has had a good culture.
They have, and they let Carson Wentz go the length of the football field and end their season 5 weeks in.
These things happen. Don't know, but you can have a good culture and still have a bad outing there at the end of a football game.
Are you guys just going to do Homer Radio every single day here?
216-474-0092. All right, I'll see whether or not you guys agree with Tone or not. You guys are all half listening. Guarantee I'm just going to get killed here. This is what bothers me. This is what bothers me. Yeah, you wait until his kid, over you and Bay, you wait until your kids are all his age, and then he's coaching your teams. You come back and see me. A real team builder over here. Thank you very much.